time, people. This time it's not a false start. We are ready. What I am going to ask just before I move through is Elder Emily and Eric Wickman in the building. They are still not in the building. When they arrive, tell them that they were very much missed. In recognition of our culture, we are going to start by singing the Black National Anthem. Does anybody in here know the Black National Anthem? A little bit of nodding. Some may be their first exposure. We have a lady here who is blessed with sound. I'm not talking about the places where the masters dropped us off. We are going to stand together and sing the Black National Anthem, or the Liberation National Anthem. And you're going to put your hands together and you're going to give a warm welcome to Sister Nyambi. Nyambi? You have to give a more love than that. Bam, bam. Lift every voice and sing, till earth and heaven ring with the harmonies of liberty. Let our rejoicing rise high as the listening skies. Let it resound loud as the rolling seas. Stony the road we trod, bitter the chastening rod, felt in those days when hope unborn had died, but with a steady beat hath not a weary feet come to the place on which our fathers died. We have come over a way that with tears have been watered. We have come treading the path through the blood of the slaughtered, out from the gloomy past, till now we stand at last, where our bright beam of our black star is cast. So lift every voice and sing, till earth and heaven they ring with the harmonies of sweet, sweet liberty. Let our rejoicing rise high as the listening skies. Let it resound loud as the rolling sea. Yeah. Would you feel blessed? I know you couldn't sing along because we cannot compete. Very much beautiful. I was looking, you can sit down for a second, although I'll rise you up in a bit. I was looking for my elders to perform libation. Do we know what libation in here is? Can I just have a raise of hands about people who know what libation in here is? A few of them, but I'm just going to take you through it for a little bit, right? We have a custom in our culture, right? And I'm using our royal we, right? It weaves through all of us, where we cannot gather in our live form without acknowledging the ancestors that passed before us, right? And sometimes those ancestors are personal to us. There are mothers and fathers, grandparents, cousins, aunties, uncles. Sometimes those ancestors have paved the way for us. They say when you call the name, the person never dies. That is how we attain eternal life, from us remembering those that come before us. And this is done with water, right? Because water signifies life. Now, because I wasn't to perform libation today, we're doing a makeshift, although I could not move forward without acknowledging all those who came before me. So this is our canister of collection, right? When this is done, I will take it out and pour it into life outside, right? Because we are giving life, not just to our ancestors, but for the things that are here. When you call an ancestor's name, you pour life into the canister. And this is done as a community. So I'm not going to stand up here and call out 10 billion names for you to remember and Google later. Remember, the ancestors that we're calling out are dear to you. They're family members of yours, but they are also the ancestors that paved the way. So if you are reading a book about an ancestor and they spoke power to you, you call their name and you pour some water. My favorite, as you can tell, is Marcus Mosiah Harvey. Who is next? You come, you pour, you call the name loud for everyone to hear.
Dr. Kwame Nkrumah.
Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. Ashe. Ashe means we all agree.
El Selassie.
Ashe. Dr. Khalid Mohammed. Ashe. Queen Nanny. Ashe. We want to hear that you agree loudly. That's what gives it the power, not just one voice. Nana from the Maroon. That's right.
Marcus Mosiah Garvey.
We must have some grandmothers who are missed. My grandfather is Israel Taylor.
Paul Boger.
I heard you. Will you want to share it?
My grandmother, Margaret Green.
Margaret Green. Got to remember someone?
Malcolm X.
Ah, Ashe. My grandmother, Omesia Joseph. Ashe.
Ruby Agassa Farms.
Ashe. Harriet Tubman. Ashe for Harriet Tubman.
I have two. My grandfather, Masalan, and he's a descendant directly from Nani, so to them both. Ashe.
Mary, my mother.
Ashe, Blanche.
Dr. Dawes.
Ashe. We have a little bit more life to share.
Dr. Amos Wilson.
Ashe.
My great granny, Miss Christie.
Ashe for the great granny.
Dr. Ben and Francis Wesley.
Oh, those are two big ones. Ashe. Ashe.
My father, Carlton Roberts.
Ashe.
Sankara.
Ashe.
Empress Benin, Queen of Queens.
Ashe. My father, Roy Thompson. Ashe.
Yeah, you know Christine, my grandfather.
Oh, Ashe. One more.
Nobody say Jesus.
Ashe. Pour the water. Yes, life into life. Thank you. I thank you for sharing in a libation where we had people who are known worldwide, internationally, walk in the same talk as our loved ones, our grandparents, our mothers, and our fathers.
And I'm about to introduce the elders from ACHA, and they're 45 years working in the black community, and they'll be doing the traditional libation. Emily and Eric. Give them a big hand, ladies and gentlemen. Emily and Eric, come to the stage.
Hotel, sisters. Nobody's asleep, I hope. Hotel, sisters. Real louder, some energy. Say hotel. That's an African greeting from our ancestors. My name is Emily. Good evening, everyone. My name is Emily Rickham. I always do work with Eric Rickham. Eric and I have known each other from children, but we weren't married yet. We had to wait till we grow up. If we make it next year, will be 50th anniversary. But we're not there yet. We have to live out the 49, which was this year. We're grateful for whatever we have. We don't fuss. When a lot of people ask, you've been married for that long and you still work together and you still talk together? Hey! Do you know what our ancestors went through? Everybody in this room is alive and kicking and breathing because your ancestors suffered that you could be here. All good mothers and fathers will give you what they have and do without. Is that the truth? Yes. We've been working at ACHA program, formerly the Black Heritage Program, since the mid-90s. Sorry, since the mid-70s. Most of you in here, see a lot of young people weren't even thought of yet. maybe your parents weren't even thought of yet. But we are consistent, and this is what we have to do to help our people heal. I teach the boys' club at ACHA because I want the boys to be strong black men when they grow up. So I teach them simple mathematics, and I also teach them manners, teach them how to respect their mothers, their sisters, and their brothers. Eric normally let me do most of the talking. He says, "Oh, that's how you stay married long. Let the woman talk." He said, "True." Both our mothers knew each other and liked each other. Both our grandmothers knew each other, had the same name, Beatrice. I just call their names so their spirit will show up and help look after us. His grandmother said to him one day, "Boy, you married Lynn's daughter, that's the best thing you ever did." Right, she's right. She's still alive and kicking. But we're here to do a libation. My husband Eric is very passionate about the ancient history, and so that is what he teaches at ACHA. The history that black people don't know. And the language, which is the oldest language on the planet. So those are the things that we do. And we have been working for over 45 years, consistently. That is the word. Don't start this year, stop next year. If you have a baby, I don't want to step on anybody's toes. If you produce a baby and you say, "Okay, I'm eating," maybe the baby ain't eating, I know where the baby is. You have to know where your baby is every single day for 21 years, consistently. So this is how we treat the community. We give to the community. To honor our ancestors in libation, we work together to get the male and female energy, throw it out, to help people. We project positive energy to you. We're going to ask you to spread that energy by standing for the libation. Please, everybody, just stand up. This is a calabash. It's a natural plant grown in the Caribbean. So we like to use natural things. This is a plant. It's a live plant, no rubber plant, for libation. In the plant, we have earth. You can say Mother Earth if you want. But whenever the Rickham says, and call an ancestral name, I will say Ashe, and I want you to say a big Ashe, okay? Which means whatever we say will happen. I think I've said enough, and I'm going to give my husband the microphone to say something.
Thank you. Now, libation is an ancient African practice that still continues today. It uses liquid. Libation indeed means liquid. We in the African Canadian Heritage Association practice use water because our ancestors reminded us many, many generations ago that where there is water, there is life. And that where there is no water, there is no life. And so we who need a renewal of life haven't been in a suffering state for the better part of the last 500 years, need water as a symbol of the renewal of life, the restoration and the regeneration of life. So we use water and the word to regenerate that which we need in our healing and in our next step forward in the regeneration of our ancient ancestral creators. Sashay. So let us begin this libation by asking Emily to pour libation in the direction of the four winds, east, west, north, and south. To remember and honor our people everywhere they are, whether gathered or scattered, and to promote a spirit of oneness and unity, sisterhood and brotherhood everywhere. Ashe. Let us pour libation to our African motherland, to remember and honor, celebrate and revere her role as birthplace, cradle, and school of Homo sapiens, or humanity, civilization, and complex culture. Ashe. Let us pour libation to our ancestors, to remember and honor, celebrate and revere those illustrious antecedents, progenitors, and forebears of ours, for as long as the sun shines and the waters flow. Ashe. Ashe. To those ancient and recent ancestors whose legacies handed down to us from the distant past are so awe-inspiring, they still command our deepest respect. We think of ancestors like Imhotep and his king, Nefertiti, who created, built, and made the great step pyramid which still survives today, reminding us that we come from a long and ancient tradition of builders and that we too can build our own legacies to posterity in our own special ways. Ashe. That's for libation to those ancient ancestors who did not build in granite and in stone, but who built in language, words, and writing. We think of ancestors like Kagemni, Tahotep, and Katie, whose monuments were their writings and whose pyramids were their words of wisdom left behind for us, their descendants. Ashe. That is for libation to those great ancestors to whom we owe a great deal of gratitude. For without them we would not be here, and because they were here, they were able to leave us their broad and secure shoulders to stand on, so we have the capacity to see further even than they could, and who also left us their bold and well-marked footsteps, pointing the way forward. So we have the capacity to go further even than our ancestors could. Ashe. See further, go further, as long as we remember always to make determination, perseverance, and a commitment to excellence as our single standard in everything we could create, in everything we conceive, create, and make, build, and do. Ashe. I repeat that. As long as we remember to make a commitment to perseverance and determination and an enduring commitment to be excellent in all we conceive, create, and make, build, and do. Ashe. This motivation finally to our recent ancestral greats, whose legacies in our own time remind us that the ancient tradition of African excellence continues even today, and will never die as long as we remember to make determination, perseverance, and excellence our single standard in everything we conceive, create, and make, build, and do. I mean, we think specifically of the likes of Ivan Garcia, Ben, Jake Carruthers, and others, who set a standard of excellence that will never die out as long as we remember to do the work that Katie reminded us of. Katie reminded us that our ancestors have left the writings in the books. She said, open and read them and follow their wise counsel, for one who is taught becomes skilled. Ashe. Ashe. So as we close this short libation in the water and in the word, let us invoke I would just remind you to mention Daddy Laws, Charles Roach, they too are recent ancestors who deserve to be remembered. Ashe. May their spirit stay with us to remind us of courage and perseverance and determination and a willingness to give big sacrifices on behalf of the community. And so as we end this libation in water and in word, may the venerable African spirit envelop this occasion, and the speaker who is going to bring the word to us, may that spirit endure with us this afternoon and deliver to us that which we need in our healing, our cultural healing, and in our next step forward in the regeneration of our ancient ancestral greatness. Ashe. 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 Thank you.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. You may be seated.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we get inside the program. This man that I'm about to introduce to you, the man is up from the roots. He wrote numerous books, and he even published his books in English and French. He's a poet, a multi-award winner, including the Harriet Jerome Award, African Achievement Award, and many more. Ladies and gentlemen, will you kindly help me welcome Mr. Dwayne Morgan. Dwayne Morgan.
All right, give thanks. How's everybody doing this evening? All right, that sounds like a very lackluster response from the people. So, how is everybody doing this evening? All right, excellent, excellent. So, I'm going to quickly share a few poems with you. Unfortunately, I have another event and I have to dip out shortly after, but it's been a number of years since I last shared a stage with Muta, and I've been on stage with Muta a few times over the course of my career. And when they said he was coming, I had to try to squeeze in some time to touch the stage and share this moment with Muta. So hopefully you enjoy these poems that I'm going to share with you. It was 4 a.m. when she woke me, and I can still remember the cold sweat on the back of my neck like it was yesterday. 10 years have now passed, and I can still remember the pregnancy test in my hand and how it felt like my heart and my world had stopped simultaneously. And nobody knows this. But at every doctor's visit, as he would perform routine ultrasounds, I would look from the ground to the screen, hoping, praying to God that the image that I was seeing was not a boy. And I don't feel good about it. But I've lived a long time in skin despised simply for its hue, so every November I go poppyless. Not out of disrespect, I'm just not a fan of Remembrance Day, remembering that there has never been a plane sent to save us. We are the displaced. Our bodies and religion stolen. We were given a new prophet as they used us to make profits. Ask Nike what a black man is worth. For hundreds of years, we have been killed as a form of amusement, gunned down with no fear of repercussions. So don't blame me for not wanting to be burdened by the birth of a black boy born into a world built on his back, forcing me to teach him how to write and his rights, knowing that even my greatest efforts can't keep him alive when his skin is a threat. So yes, I stood there, staring blankly at a screen, hoping, praying to God that none of the squiggly lines that I was seeing would confirm this little being as a boy. Maybe having a girl would increase my chances of not having a child who'd grow up to be a hashtag trending, because the killing of black men has been a trend since forever. So we write Black Lives Matter, not to try to inform others, but to try to convince ourselves in a world that is constantly telling us otherwise, and my heart can't help but break for those parents who have had their children snatched from their lives. It was an April afternoon when I found myself pacing around the delivery room, wondering if my prayers would be answered. At 3:20, the most precious little girl was presented to me, and I cried uncontrollably for hours, knowing that I had just been blessed, not because having a girl would make her worth more, but because we live in a world where black boys will always be worth less. Thank you. To be a gift, born into this world male, packaged in black skin, is to be constantly reminded that your life is disposable, that it lacks meaning and value and isn't protected by the law. You live with the knowledge that justice is a drunk that will not be served. We, the black gifts, are the first to be accused and the last to be believed. We are the guilty until proven innocent, the aggressor despite the evidence. We are the hoops for which loopholes are made. We are the Sambos, the puppets. Our value determined by the worth we bring our puppeteers. So dance, Negro, dance. Rap, black boy, rap. Run, boy, run. But what about those of us who are regular, who are average, who don't have gifts or talents that the world wants or needs, who are just their bodies, packaged in black skin, stuck on modern-day plantations, being abused at will, and people wonder why we seldom smile, and it seems like our looks could kill. We are the ones who put basketballs in our sons' palms before they can walk and only dribble, with the hope that they will grow to dribble beyond their packaging. We are the ones that make elevators go quiet, purses and loved ones clench tighter. We are the deer that stare down the barrel of guns, but there is no license needed to hunt us. We are the suspicious packages at the airport or in any store with goods that we aren't supposed to be able to afford, whether in a hoodie or a suit, accused of driving while black in minivans or coupes. We are the black licorice discarded in Halloween, the silhouette used for target practice by the police, the black men who spend their days wanting nothing but to be human with respect and dignity. So this is for every Trayvon, Jaquan, Marcus, Jordan, Dwayne, for every black man considered a nigga despite having a name, for everyone who has ever felt the pain of race, for the empty seat beside a black man on the train, for we are the ones who meet death on cold asphalt, discarded like roadkill. We are the ones worthless bodies packaged in black skin that nobody seems to want. We are the voiceless. We are the ones. Thank you. So, one of the best things about us is that we are the most resilient people ever to walk the planet, and no matter what has been devised to destroy us, to kill us, we still find a way to make it work. And it's hard to believe when you watch the news now and you see what's going on in the States and in different places, that these things are still happening in 2017. The war against us is still happening in 2017. And sometimes people don't like to hear us talk about these realities, but if we don't talk about them, they just keep happening. And we have to make sure that we are conscious of what is happening in the world around us. So I want to make sure for my last poem, I leave it on a plane of hope and a reminder that no matter the obstacles in front of us, no matter what people do to hold us down, as a people, we have always overcome everything that has been in our path. And in that vein, I'll share this last poem. On your mark, get set, and so it begins. On the dark continent of enlightenment, the place from where all history comes, a people who are so ahead of their time they were sending text messages when they only had drums. Out of the starting blocks, we are off to an early lead as world travelers and explorers, sharing our philosophies, creating universities and structures that would make the world stop and wonder before passing the baton on to the relay's next runner in the Caribbean Sea, who lost a bit of ground through the Middle Passage and slavery, but nobody said that the race would be easy. So for over 400 years, they continue to run, limping through the pain, knowing that cramps will come and it's going to hurt sometimes, where you've got to focus and keep going through the plantations, the lynchings, and the hate, even when the spectators in the stands call you other than your name, because it is not what we are called, but what we answer to that is important. Victory is an uphill climb, and we've got to continue to rise like Lazarus, knowing that even the slightest of steps can mean so much. Sister Rosa Parks sat down to stand up, so I can't give up as I try to make sense of this baton that's been placed in my hand while I struggle just to be accepted as a man in this world that seems more concerned with whether or not I'm endowed down south, and I'm all about being endowed in the places where it counts, in my family and my community, because knowledge of self is like a garden. If it is not cultivated, you cannot reap a harvest. Victory will come to those who choose to run the hardest, and it really doesn't matter if you know the secret, because not everyone will believe enough of themselves to do something with the information. No one was made to be a spectator in life. We are all the active participants in the race to fulfill our destiny. So when the baton comes, take it and run, because failure isn't a crime, but aiming too low is. Because if you reach for the top of a tree, you might never get off the ground, but if you shoot for the stars, you might at the very least get to the top of that tree, and I might not get to the finish line with you, but I will continue to strive to carve out my own space before passing this baton on to a new generation of runner, confident in victory, because success, it runs in my race. Thank you all very much. Good thanks.
Thank you very much, Dwayne Morgan. Now you know why he won an Harriet Jerome Award. Great speaker indeed. Give it up for him once more. Now we're going to move on with the program with a lady who provides seminar for you. She has a Bachelor of Science with a concentration in the criminology. She's also a registered early childhood educator with an advanced certificate in special needs. She has been performing and organizing parenting seminars since 2010. Ladies and gentlemen, will you kindly help me welcome to the podium Claudia Tomlinson. Give it up for Claudia Tomlinson.
Good evening, everyone. I apologize for my voice, okay? With all the work that's been going on, my voice has left me, but a little bit is left, so here I am. Okay, so every great dream begins with the dreamer. Always remember, you have within you the strength, the patience, and the passion to reach for the stars to change the world. Good evening. My name is Claudia Tomlinson, and I am the dreamer of this event. Thank you. Thank you. I would like to thank all of you for making the time to share your evening with me and my dream. First and foremost, I would like to follow the ancient African tradition and give thanks to my ancestors and loved ones who have traveled to the other side and are watching over me and guiding me on this path that I believe was made for me long before I arrived on this planet through the womb of my mother, Miss Norma. It is with deep love that I ask these spirits to continue to guide me and give me the vision for the future. Eternal love to them all. And I ask them to stand watch over me until it is my spirit's turn to watch over the living. My company is called Seminars for You. The core focus of Seminars for You is to give human beings the opportunity to strive and to make their environment and their minds better than it was yesterday. Sorry. I heard Muta better than it was yesterday through what I have heard Muta called edutainment. Learning is at its best when we are entertained with the learning material. It gives the brain a kind of motivation while the information is being absorbed. As an early childhood educator, I'm aware that it is important to incorporate learning and entertainment. It is my intention to continue to perform edutainment seminars for individuals who are interested in making their lives better than it was yesterday. Seminars for You promotes better living through mindfulness, nutrition, positive parenting, and financing information. That it's also entertaining. With your support, I would like to continue organizing seminars that help the people within my community to live more fulfilling lives and also contribute to uplifting themselves and those around them. It would seem to me that these four things, mindfulness, nutrition, parenting, and financing, if not handled properly, can make our journey through this life very difficult. In essence, I began this company to help those individuals who wanted to increase their level of thought and move to a higher level of consciousness. Not just for their benefit, but ultimately for the benefit of the children and the future they will inherit from us long after we are no longer here. When you leave here today, I would like to ask you and I would encourage you to tell your friends, tell your family, and most of all, remember what we have said and think about what we have said. Research what we have said and find your own truth. I am almost sure that many of you are aware of the examples of what proper nutrition is, of what it may mean to be a good parent, and also what it may mean to learn how to handle your finances. But I wonder if anyone really knows what it means to be more mindful, or what mindfulness really means. I'm not going to ask anybody in the crowd today, but I'm going to ask you to just think about it while I continue my speech. What is mindfulness, and what does it mean to our community? I will discuss what we as a community can do for ourselves and our children. As an early childhood educator, I also specialize in children with special needs. As an educator of children, brain development is important to me. As a teacher of special needs, I have special interest in the area of emotional disorders. An example of children who have emotional issues may be those who display negative behaviors within the classroom environment or within the home or family environment. And as a result of this, they may result in behaving with a lot of anger and aggression or disruption. During my studies, I have come upon many things that suggest how to help children with these issues, one of which was the concept of mindfulness. I was drawn to this concept because I was able to learn that it does not require the child to be medicated. It could be used for children who not only struggle with emotional issues, but most of all, it would be useful for people like you and me. It is useful for adults as a form of daily exercise for the mind. Mindfulness helps the mind to be more focused, self-control, and emotional regulation. Self-control and emotional regulation in children, according to the study done by Harvard University, is incidentally two of the most important factors that determine success in later life. It is also something that seems to be missing in many of our young people within our community. We have heard the comments, we have seen examples of the violence among them. On several occasions, I have heard the anger used as a badge of honor. And excuse me when I say, "Bana bad man." Or they would say such things as, "Me go bust up a man's face if he violate." Negative. It is usually the lack of self-control in moments of rage and the lack of ability to regulate one's emotions when it is needed most that becomes the topic of discussion long after the conflict is over. When the conflict is over, we are usually not judged on the reasons for the anger, but how we reacted during the anger. We are sometimes branded as emotional handicaps. This is a term that I heard the other night when I went to one of the African Women's Association meetings. And I had to write it down because it made so much sense, and to me it hit home. I hope that she's here tonight and she heard, I remember the word. In other words, what happens between the time that the brain received the information and the reaction to the information? So again, I ask you, what is mindfulness? And how does it control our emotions? How does it help to control our emotions? Well, mindfulness is the act of learning how to pay attention in the present moment without judging your emotions. It is knowing what is on your mind. It is a love affair with life itself. Mindfulness is the idea of taking some time throughout our day and checking into our minds and paying attention to what we are thinking and how we're feeling, and not judging our feelings. Most individuals who practice mindfulness, regular practice, and spend about 20 minutes concentrating on the breath, which is an example I will show you shortly. But it is not just about the practice. It is also about mindful eating, which helps and benefits weight control. Mindful listening, that can help in every conversation you will ever have. Mindful listening. Do you remember in school when the teacher would say, pay attention? Well, paying attention is something that is not automatic. Paying attention is a skill that can be taught. It is a skill that can be taught to children through the concepts of mindfulness. It requires practice. It is a skill that can be taught to adults as well. And when I was able to find out that mindfulness is something that many professionals, many artists, and sports figures alike practice. Kobe Bryant practices mindfulness. And I know a lot of people think that he knows everything. But if he's practicing mindfulness, why shouldn't we? It is a practice that gives you the ability to think things through before reacting. So, the practice of mindfulness helps an individual in the time when the brain receives the information and when the reaction to the information. What does this all mean to you and I? Well, I would like to suggest that we as a community must look into the practice of mindfulness as a way of changing the way we think. I believe that as a community, we can all agree that the level of aggression and anger amongst our young people is an issue that must be addressed. In order for them to heal, we must look into ourselves and attempt to heal ourselves first. Mindfulness, to me, is a tool that will help to heal. In a process of healing ourselves, we will be able to teach them how to heal. When Marley said, emancipate yourself from mental slavery, none but ourselves can free our minds. I believe that he meant that we have control over the way we think. And we should not be slaves to our thoughts and emotions, or to the thoughts and emotions that we have put in our minds for the last 400 years of captivity. When we can make an effort to think before we react, when we can make an effort to think before we react or breathe, we are freeing our minds. The split-second decision between the time that it takes to complete one breath allows us the time to gain control over our thoughts, over the thoughts that enter our brain. This in turn gives the brain the opportunity to see the information coming in for what it is, just thoughts that can pass with the very next breath you take. Many children who I have worked with who have emotional issues have been through some kind of trauma. Mindfulness helps them to calm their minds and provide a different way of thinking, a way to transform their thoughts. It inspires thoughts of compassion, thoughts of love, thoughts of kindness to others. We are all aware of the need for our young to find compassion for each other. Mindfulness is not about religion. Anyone who knows me would tell you that if it was, I'd probably run in the other direction. It is a connection with the world around you. Let us perform a practice right now. Another 4 minutes. I'm going to ask everyone to sit upright in your seats. And I'd like you to put all of your papers down and fold your hands in front of you. You can either look at me or you can close your eyes. And if you're not comfortable closing your eyes, I'd recommend that you just hold your gaze straight ahead, but not necessarily straight at me. Now, I would like to ask you to begin by taking 3 complete inhaling through your nose and release the air through your mouth. As you breathe, pay attention to the cool air going through your nose as you breathe out. As you breathe, also pay attention to the rising and falling of your chest. I would ask you again to bring your attention as you continue to breathe. Bring your attention to your shoulders and relax them. As you continue to breathe in and out completely. Continue to breathe and bring your attention to your jaws and relax them. Many of us hold our tension in our jaws. Relax and continue to breathe. As you continue your breathing, now think of someone who is very dear to you. As you exhale, say in your mind's eye the name of that person. And as you breathe out, say in your mind's eye, I wish them love. Over 3 times. I would ask you to place your attention now to someone who you're not so happy with right now. And I would like to ask you, as you continue to breathe, full breaths, inhale and exhale, send that person who you're not so happy with some love also in your mind's eye. Lastly, I would like to ask you to think of yourself, and for 3 complete breaths, say to yourself, beginning with your name, I send you love. Continue to breathe. And when you're complete, you can open your eyes. Or you can turn your gaze back to me. So, for all of those who have never meditated, who have never known what mindfulness is, you've just done it. So I think you deserve an applause for that. So, I'm almost finished. So when you guys go home tonight, I would suggest that you Google mindfulness and you think. And if you think you've learned anything, tell a friend and look for more of these seminars. They are for you. Seminars for you. I invite you to think about what this could mean to you and your children if you spent 20 minutes out of 24 hours, 20 minutes to practice this. This and what this could ultimately mean to change the way you think, change the way you view the world. Someone once said that if you change the way you think, the things you look at will change. For the sake of our future, we need to change the way we think. so that we can transfer these thoughts to the next generation. Learning the tools of mindfulness will not only benefit our lives, it will provide our children with the tools to continue long into the future, long after we're no longer here. And long after we have left the earth. Research the practice of mindfulness and understand that I am not exaggerating when I say the same as Dr. John Kabat-Zinn, who brought mindfulness to the present-day society. But we know that it was in Africa long before that. But I'm just telling you what I learned. We should all practice mindfulness every day as if our lives depended on it, because it does. In addition to all of the people who helped me put this show together, special thanks goes out to, of course, my mother, Norma Langley. Can you give her applause, please? And my stepfather, Lorenzo Plummer. Mr. Plummer, I owe you much more than you'll ever know. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Claudia Tomlinson. Well, it's good to see that we have a packed house. And I would like to say once more to our sponsors, Jem's House of Jerk, Queen's Beauty Supply, Extra Cool Drinks, High-Risk Snacks, Andres Construction, and about our vendors. I don't know if all of them are here. Black to Eden, Nile Valley Books, High-Risk Snacks, GCE New Health, LC Lux, and Luscious, Aqua Gems, The Restaurant, who's over there, Humble Heights, Creation Juice, and T-Bar, Desi May Natural Products, I think they're over in the corner, and Pierre Henthrick, who is, I don't know if they're here, but we just want to acknowledge all of our sponsors and all our vendors who are within the house. Now, ladies and gentlemen, the person that I'm about to introduce to you, they represent from this All African People Revolutionary Party, who recognizes African people born and living in over 113 countries. The people who think this way says one people with one destiny, one history, one culture, one nation. Ladies and gentlemen, will you kindly help me welcome Sister Tandawi? Give it up for Sister Tandawi.
On behalf of the All African People's Revolutionary Party, I would like to first and foremost give thanks to the Supreme Creator of the universe, our great ancestors, and those African souls yet unborn for the honor and privilege to stand here tonight to pay tribute to one of our great revolutionary leaders and cultural ambassadors, the Honorable Mutabaruka. When we examine the roots of African culture, it's very clear that our culture is a holistic, integrated culture, and that as Black people here in the diaspora and around the world, Mother Africa is our cultural, spiritual, political, and economic foundation. One of the things that our great ancestors taught us within the context of our culture is that each and every one of us has a responsibility to fight against inequality and injustice to make the world a better place. And it is within that context that the All African People's Revolutionary Party is here today to pay tribute to one of our great cultural warriors, Mutabaruka. My name is Sister Tandiwe. I have been a proud member of the AAPRP for almost 30 years. I'm also a lawyer. I was called to the bar earlier this year. And thank you. And so I will use my legal skills. I will continue to use those skills to empower my community and other communities. Brothers and sisters, we are living in very serious times. And as Luciano says, serious times requires serious measures. I had the privilege of first meeting the Honorable Mutabaruka in 2007 when the AAPRP asked me to meet with him to progress some work that was being done in Jamaica at that time in respect of advancing the unification of our people. And when I met Baba Mutabaruka, he was very polite, very knowledgeable, and very receptive to the work that the AAPRP was doing. And in fact, he has been a supporter of the All African People's Revolutionary Party for decades, including meeting one of our great leaders, Kwame Ture, who passed into the ancestral realm in November of 1998. One of the main things I'd like to highlight with the remaining brief moments that I have to speak is Baba Mutabaruka's spirit of resistance. And that spirit of resistance, as we know it, has shown itself, manifested itself through his poetry, through his activism, through his travels to different parts of the Pan-African world, delivering a positive message of unity and empowerment to all sectors of our community. And in fact, he is so dedicated to the cause of liberation of African people worldwide that last night, when we organized Pan-African Women's Day at Young and Potential Fathers, we had the wonderful surprise in that he came to support that event with Sister Claudia. So we thank him for that. And the theme of Pan-African Women's Day was African women and youth organizing for power and change. African women and youth organizing for power and change. So in my closing remarks, I would like to just share an excerpt of the pledge that we recited last night at Pan-African Women's Day. On this historic Pan-African Women's Day, we acknowledge the majestic qualities and endless contributions of African women, Black women, to all aspects of human life. We pause to reflect upon the known and unknown contributions of African sheroes who have organized, boycotted, and even sacrificed their lives for the political, economic, cultural, and spiritual liberation of our homeland, Africa, and African people around the world. We take very seriously our responsibility to the Creator, our great ancestors, and those yet unborn to ensure that African women, the mothers of humanity, are permanently freed from all forms of abuse, sexism, and oppression. We recognize and accept that a nation can rise no higher than its women. We also affirm the fact that the struggle to liberate our beautiful homeland, Mother Africa, is inseparable from the struggle to liberate African women. One cannot be achieved without the other. Based on the above, we pledge to do the following. Number one, and I want you to think about these pledges as I say them and take them into your spirit to internalize them. The first one is to pledge to strive to love my brothers and sisters as I love myself. Number two, to strive to study to improve myself spiritually, mentally, morally, physically, and economically for the benefit of myself, my family, and my people. Number three, to build schools, hospitals, housing, business, to buy farmland, and enter into international trade and commerce for the good of myself, my family, and my people. Number four, to strive to give myself my time, my energy, and whatever I can spare of finance to accomplish the above said. Number five, to learn more about our rich, glorious African history so I can uplift myself, my children, and my community. Number six, to pass on the political education, the knowledge, the consciousness I have acquired today at this historic event honoring Mutabaruka to as many sisters and brothers as possible. And finally, number seven, I pledge to join an organization or improve my contribution to the organization that I'm actually in at this moment. So Mama Africa and our global African family will be free. And this is precisely what the Honorable Mutabaruka has done and continues to do. And we ask the Creator and our great ancestors to continue to guide him, protect him on his journey with his beautiful bare feet. Give thanks.
I like to acknowledge all accomplishments in life. And they have us, Black people, people with darker skin, people with coarser hair, they have us captured in a box. And anytime somebody gets out of that box, I like to acknowledge it. So can you stand up for me, please? I would just like to give some love for Sister Tandia, because she passed the bar. This is a lawyer standing beside us that knows our strides. She knows our struggles. She will fight for us. Fight playing their game. Thank you. You may be seated.
Now, if you love to celebrate African culture, history, through drumming and dance, let's welcome a grassroots of children, your Ubuntu drummers and dancers. Give it up for the Ubuntu drummers and dancers. And of course, don't sit. We're all African, we have music in our blood. So when the music go, you can enjoy it as well.
Hello, everyone. We are Ubuntu Drum and Dance Theater. Thank you very much. Just to give a little bit of quick background, we practice at the at Jane and Finch at York Woods Library. We practice every Wednesday. We're hoping to open a Saturday class, but it's every Wednesday. These children work hard. And as you can see, we've been doing this for 5 years now. I've been so lucky because both my parents from Ghana, they were both, my dad was a drummer, my mom dancer, and so I had to go with them every Saturday to watch them dance and teach. And I wasn't allowed to watch no Saturday morning cartoon. I had to follow them, and so lucky for that, I was able to pass on the culture to these beautiful children. Also, we have something coming up in February. We have a play coming up. It's a play on the Haitian Revolution. Yeah, something that is never talked about. And so that's coming up in February at York Woods Theater. It's February 23rd. It's a Friday night, and it's a fundraiser because we are planning a trip to Ghana. We're taking the children to Ghana. So please support us. I don't want to keep talking. I know the children might want to say something quickly because I try to make sure that this group belongs to the children, right? That's what it's all about. So we have Faith. Yes, Faith. Faith is our dancer. As you can see, she loves to jump and stuff. So, Faith, you want to say something quickly about the group?
So kind of sick. But the group started off, we all gone to the Afrocentric Alternative School. So, the group started off with just our mothers and our parents dancing. And from that, we started to dance and we put on our first play, which was To the Rhythm of the Drum, which talked about the origins and the history of the djembe drum. And so, just if you can, if every turn is there, come and support us. And we're always happy to do a show for the community. And we're always accepting new members. So if you have any children who would like to learn to drum and dance, bring them on Wednesday to York Woods Library. That's it.
All right, thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you very much for these drummers, young warriors. All right, give it up once more for that, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, the next person, speaker that I'm about to introduce to you, I'll tell you something about him. This man has interest in books written by Malcolm X and Marcus Garvey and other leaders who sought to inspire the African population. He's a dub poet, educator, DJ, actor, and talk show host of IRI FM, Popular Cutting Edge and Stepping Razor program. He lectures all over the world at different universities, and he received the Order of Distinction from the Jamaican government. Ladies and gentlemen, or may I say mothers and fathers, brothers and sisters, will you kindly help me welcome to the podium Mutabaruka.
Give thanks. You can't sit down, man. I have to move the table never. They came in wooden ships, they came. On the west coast of Africa, they came. Gambia, Senegal, Nigeria, Cameroon, they came across the Atlantic Ocean. We were in those wooden ships, but through the blood, sweat, tears, piss and shit, we survived. We survived the water graves of the Atlantic Ocean. Free man, free man, I sang songs of free man. My mother, chained to me, chained to them, I cried, cried because they took my brother. My brother still sucking my mother's breast. My brother was fed to the sea. Oh, how I cried. My mother, they whipped her because she cried about them whipping my father. She the slave, he the slave. Then I would arise at sun nearly rise, working away my life. No name, I knew no name. I the forgotten soul, whipped to live, whipped because I live, whipped to death. They came on the west coast of Africa, on their wooden ships, but we survived. We survived the blood, the sweat, the tears, the piss and the shit across the watery graves of the Atlantic Ocean. We survived 400 years. We survived. My mother, they whipped her because she cried about them whipping my father. She the slave, he the slave. Then I would arise at sun nearly rise, working away my life. No name, I knew no name. I the forgotten soul. Whipped to live, whipped because I lived, whipped to death. Today I sing songs, redemption songs. Freeing mother, freeing father, I sing songs to be free. Freeing I the slave, I the slave. Yes, the good tongues in Canada again. At least it's not the ice box that we used to. And I tell you, I don't know, some people are like, you know, they want to never wear shoes that are cold, they bring up when it's hot. I know them bring me when it's hot, you know, but it's cold every time they come here. It's the first time I the sky so bright in Canada. And I tell you, man, something are going on. But here I tell you, you have to tighten your seatbelt, you know, because we know it's going to get rough for some of the people inside and so. Who don't be used to how we go and how we talk. You understand? It can be very nerve-wracking. I don't know why you go with nightmare. You understand? So you don't never go back to hear that brother you talk again. But it can be very nerve-wracking. Give me this. Give me that. Give me back me everything you got. Give me back my philosophy you carry to Greece. Thief, Homer and Socrates. Give me my historical masterpiece. Give me back my name. Give me back my calendar. Give me my books, your tea from Alexandria. Give me my queen like Cleopatra. Me no want to hear about Queen Victoria. Give me my language I know so well. You mix up English confusing no L. Give me back my maths, you Pythagoras. Give me my symbols, your tea from us. Give me this. Give me that. Give me back my everything you got. Give me my diamond, give me my gold. Give me back my rock and roll. Give me my uranium, give me my coal. Give me my reggae, give me my blues. Give me my music that you confuse. No spiritual concept originated here. So who I praise, you shouldn't care. You say steal not, you thief my land. Sex not, you rape my mother. Keep the Sabbath, who work 7 days a week. You build a nation from the sweat of my back. Now you want to come give me crack. Give me my herbs, let me make some tea. Give me back all my fruit tree. Give me the remedy that make blind see. Give me everything that you take from me. Give me this, give me that. Give me back me everything you got. Give me a space. I can run my own life. Respect is due. The time is now. No more turn cheek. This time we now bow. So, the speaker would have talked about the no gun, no shot business. What name? What was your name? It's amazing, you know, because you could have taken him and just transport him in a Jamaica, make him talk the same time. And it was relevant same way. Because I listen to him and I say, but Canada me there and Jamaica me hear the speech, Canada me there. That means it's the same thing. We are going to Jamaica, I go on up here, so. Then, oh, look why I don't know why I got Jamaica. I don't understand. Oh, no, go on. You know about Jamaica too much train, I go on up there. The president feel like they are Jamaica when they talk a while ago. Because the same speech them getting at Jamaica. If you can't trust. I mean, hear people call me, want to come to Jamaica, you know, but like, too much murder down there. The man just tell me, say, oh, the back shut up for you up there. So I have to start checking because it happened in St. Kitts. Trinidad, they're right there in Jamaica, clap. Now, I wonder if it's a conspiracy. Because all the same thing are going in a different region at the same time in our history. It don't make no sense. It don't make no sense at all. How did it be, as most African people are going with too? How we get so wicked against each other? Go to all the church where we used to go when we little. And the church where we still are going when we big. It now work. The politician, a joke business, it now work neither. Politicians is the most, well, when I ever said politician, I'm going to put the preacher in like that. It's the wickedest set of people against the people. Because you know, see the politician them promise you good living when you're alive. And the preacher promise you good living when you're dead. So it's a promise thing them have upon and the people just sup it up, and I realize where I'm going. So you know, you see Canada, all we are going, a capture land, you know, thief it. America, the same thing. And me black people are going like now say, you know, black people say them is African American. And me I say, all right. And some of them I say, I don't want to be called no African American. I'm an American. I say, okay. Them say them African, say them American. So I prefer to say them American and say them African. So now we are able to all Canadian American, Canadian Jamaican, and all sorts of madness. But you know, are the Native American own this? Canada, white people come. America, white people come and run the Native American half of the land and take away the land. And now the black people come and do the same thing on our own people land. And them are denied freedom land, which is Africa. So how come everywhere we go like say, we're stuck with them swimming to foot tonight. And when we hear about Africa now, we are talking about Africa, you know. Don't they look kind of starvish like. A joke. Africa is not a country. It's a continent with many different countries. So, if they might eat people in Nigeria, you can't run back Gambia. You know what I'm saying? And if they might crucify people in Egypt, you can't run back Morocco. So it's not like say, well, I'm in Africa, which most black people don't really want to live in Africa, because the majority of you in Jamaica, I don't get a chance to run to America or Canada. Because that is where the land of opportunity and bliss is. And now I see people are around left Canada and America. I'm glad to say Trump win. It's circle the right or wrong. He might wake up and wake up people's eye to the reality of things where them feel say they get down and to them guy have a guy named Obama in there. Because Obama may get so passive that people say, okay, black man in the White House, and you people say, black man. Black man have been in the White House. They feel good, everybody feel good, see that. Black skin, ruled America. What has Obama done for black people in America? As a matter of fact, and they don't like you to say these things, he has done more for the gay community than for the black community. And this is not an indictment against the gay community. It's just that they are more organized and structured. And they have more money than black people. So some black people just shift over. Because they say, yeah, so the thing I go on, so yeah, so we have to there. Because we done the separation. Can't take away for separation. So you have people up here so now who come from Jamaica. Every day they listen to the radio, look at the news and say, Lord God, you know, I go back to Jamaica, sir. Well, I want to tell you now, because we only left land down there, you know. Especially the one where they are 40 years. They have land of Clarendon, Trelawney, when the show finish, you can just tell me which part of the land there. Because me not capture that business right now. Anytime you come at them place and you want to know which part of the land there because you not go back. You're not going back to Jamaica. It's like I tell you, you're not going all you have to do, when you see Canada get rough, you go shift over to the United States of America. Or not over there, so. I went in there and come back to Canada. Or somebody find, especially when they got sister then, when things are getting really rough, then find somebody who's privileged and gone to Europe. We're back to Jamaica, so I know a whole heap of land there at Jamaica when I use. I mean, I love the farming thing. I mean, a whole heap of youth right now. Muta say, come, we go farm them, we come do. So if you don't know you have any land there, what you know you not go back for, just sign up at the gate, the door there, and tell you exactly where the land there. Make sure you not pay taxes on it still. Because I'm not going to pay government no tax. You understand? Jamaican people love Jamaica, you know. Yeah, I mean, really and true, you know, because Jamaican is the only Caribbean island me here. Other people are going like them at Jamaica and get do some wickedness and then say them at Jamaica and then them get locked up and then get deported to Jamaica. Trinidad and all get deported to Jamaica. What kind of word is that? Some of my brethren them in a National Avenue and Franklin and Lampet in New York, you know. At Trinidad they come from, you know. And when you hear them attack, they say, yo, I look like I deal with. And when them do something, them get deported. Them no one go to Trinidad, same way with England. The majority of black people who come from the Caribbean in England or in a prison. At Jamaica them come from, so we think. Because Nigeria are going to Jamaica now, and they're the biggest scammer all over the place. And them teach you scamming now. 70, you can just imagine a country of 70 million people. There's something that must go on in there where they're not supposed to go on. Because when it's in Nigeria and them in England and all, Rolls Royce and all them things, them are driving and them work on the bank and the money in the bank and all that. It's a weird thing. But Jamaican, I'm a thing for Jamaica, no matter where, but even though here we're actually not going, I will for Jamaican life, Jamaica from afar. No. What talking truth, man? Only love to say, Miss Jamaican, when you hear you say Bolt around. But Miss Jamaican, but why too much crime are going on the Rasta? We don't know about that. Jamaica good and Jamaica bad. The glass half full and the glass half empty. So it depends on how you want to look at it because you want 3.7 million people in Jamaica where live there including myself. You understand? And we know only for people up here. Them get involved with some of my brethren them. Some of my brethren them get involved with some serious things, you know. I hear them land at the airport man shoot them. And I said, Jesus Christ. Then he said the man said never did come and then go back and them shoot him. You don't know where I go away before we left that, or you don't know where did I go away that how much gun them saying about Jamaica and all them something. And that man I said, oh yeah, send gun for you man, I said gun for you. That's what you do. Because you know you can't get gun for rent now. Gun easier to get than ganja in Jamaica. Just like what the virgin said, you have some little teenager youth now and kill people like, wow. So, let me tell you, but you know, Jamaica nice. We go all over the place, 6 continents, don't continent never go Antarctica, believe you me. Believe you me. We don't see nowhere. We look geographically sweet and look at the ambience like when we say Jamaica have. So I don't know, up here, so now I go like, you know, this and this. I don't care hide, you know, because the lady will bring me up here, you know, she talk to me and I say, she thinks, you sound like, I said, she asked me if she sound like a Canadian. I said, no, Jamaican you sound like. But go like a son. You know, she don't go like she sound Canadian, but oh, she talk, she feels she show off body, but she a Canadian. She don't sound like a Canadian. None of them don't sound like Canadian all the time. It's like I'm not telling herself. And if you don't want to sound like Canadian, you try to change up the thing, and it sounds ridiculous. You ever hear Jamaican talk English? I don't wickedest thing, man. It's like them not have no sense. But when they say them talk them now, they must say, oh, you know, they must feel some educated. You sound less educated when you try to talk like English, and you can't talk it. That's why I love Miss Lou, you know. Yeah, man, Miss Lou don't talk the thing. I was like, yeah, that's all. You see how some man, Chris, you know, in them suit and thing, in America, see them a Jamaican, all that, so them well, I moves and thing, you know. And them a talk, and only them a talk, you know, see a primary school, them let Jamaican come up there, you know, they never got no high school. Like if they talk normal, like when they come from St. Elizabeth, you know, St. Elizabeth people talk different from every other kind of Jamaican. Yeah, because you go to St. Elizabeth and them red too, you know. Yeah, St. Elizabeth people look like, because you have a German community in St. Elizabeth, you understand? And they mix up, you know, Jamaican people love mix up. So they mix up and, you see when St. Elizabeth people talk, people from Kingston, you understand what I'm saying? No? It's like the people from Haiti. The people from Guadeloupe don't understand the French and the Asian them attack, you know, because Guadeloupe people go out them are French, you know. Yeah, man, because, you know, France, civil colony, you know, Martinique, but see the Asian, them create their own creole, just like how we create our own little language. Which patois? I don't patois, it's a language. You know what I'm saying with patois? It's a language you need to say. So most Jamaican is multilingual, you know, bilingual. Because we speak a language, but we can't write a language, we can't speak. You believe I told me, I mean? Take up what a Miss Slow poem and try to read it. Most Jamaicans can't read Miss Slow poem. But it's when Miss Slow write, how them talk. So if when them write the English, listen to them when they talk and see if them know anything about English. It's that the confusion. I start getting out, we're confused, you know. But we don't really believe so we're confused, you know, because them say ignorance is bliss. Ignorance is stupidity. Ignorance is not bliss. We never feel good because we're ignorant. And most of us don't know so we're ignorant. So when we're up here for now, you know, at least the money are run nice. You know, if it's done at Jamaica. But you know, if you're at Jamaica, you can get a $10 life, you know, if you want it, you know. And you can get a $100 life. You can get $1 million life. Because I see a man go from a man at the airport, you know. And him, I would them call him big car, I don't like so. Escalade. The man come finish him in an Escalade. And in the I don't know, how black people so enough with things. A man have all the Benz and him just ride Benz. But it's me, it make Benz when one of black people drive my car. Believe me. Trust me, and the wheel that spins so, and the bomber goes so, and lighter and meeting like horrors. I mean, like, really actually. And now the black people can't look, rich people don't look like you know. If buy a Benz, it's just a Benz. You understand? You have to take off the bumper, you have to put a whole heap of little soft duck and dog in the back and thing when you can't put on the car, you can't see back, you can't put on the back. And then they write Benz. Anyway, the Escalade Virgin now comes from Virgin at the airport. He have video in the car. Why am I don't want to put a video in the car? Figure what? He have the sound of glass loud, the glass tint up wicked. He take out the seat them when they get it originally and put some soft seat to look like them not kill the sheep them yet. Them just kill the sheep them and put it pallet. So when you sit on the pallet, you know, so the sheep skin all come over and so. And he said, he hear the Virgin now. He took a long time from Jamaica and he hear the Virgin look on him now and said, Escalade him up, you know. The Virgin look on him and said, why? So tell me something, where are going in Jamaica hear him? Why look now, go on, you know. And you have escalate, you have TV like you can't go on. Things are going on. But you see, we don't understand how the thing works. We don't understand how the thing works, you know. So when we're up there, so now, because I remember the other man grass always look green, you know. Until you go over there, you realize they need a garden and for bush out in land. So a whole heap of people left Jamaica and go to America, come up here so, and them feel things a little better. No, I tell you the truth. I tell you the truth, you know, watch you know. I have some question in New York. Tough court, man. I don't give them up, I'm a question them. Enough ganja them I said. The first time you go in a courthouse for that, I nearly have diarrhea. Because I climb up and every step when I go up and I say, man, I'm going to big guns. And when I go up and say, man, I have a long table and I cut up the cook and I say, you can't imagine if they call me now, Mutabaruka, Ellen, coke out of the blood. You know, you see them brother there? That's why I know them are a rasta, you know. Yeah, man, them just want to find out. You see, a coke out and fight them, you know. And you know, send the boy there to my cousin say, fella, go up there. But you know, with the Jamaican dynamics, bro. We're not up here, so you know, and if you don't feel like most of you better, now we're going to do that, Jamaica. Yeah. When you can afford the fingernails, and the wig, and the bottom, and the breast. Because right now, that is what is trending. Big body girl are trend. If you want a big body girl, I have to go to South Africa.
Yes, yes.
Oh gosh, man, you can't sit up on the bottom and, you know, I tell you, you must say South Africa, as a matter of fact, you know, they have a South African woman, you know, who do we have bottoms here, you know, them carry a Europe a ton, show her business and show her like glass case, you know. And when she dead, it's just that day, you know. Before Mandela dead, Mandela tell them they must send back her body from South Africa. So now fear bottom is what is in now. That's why you see the European them in the Victorian age and all them age. You see them padding at them bottom. African people them are trying to look like, you know, like, yeah, but no, if you look at Hollywood movie now, this is thick lip is trending. Because they are injecting them lip now. But we different now. Okay, so it appears that we can afford certain things. Because if they are Jamaica, I'm going to have to check me. I don't want to check me. I don't want to board the pedal. I just want to live over there. I don't want to tell a couple of say, why I'm out there. Like here now. I would realize that I'm like, what I'm saying, oh, I'm not talking about your football, I'm only him out. I saw the plan. All right, so what is it? If you can afford your life here in Canada, better than when you was in Jamaica, why would you want to go back to Jamaica? There's an emotional thing that is driving us. Like all right now, I'm glad to me I left tomorrow now. Yeah man, I'm glad to, and if somebody that for me and then show and appear to me, I say, no, you have to send me back. Send back for me. But what is it that Jamaicans is driving Jamaicans? That no matter which part them there, and no matter how the thing look, and no matter how them feel like them are prosper, they might say, why Jamaica? We love Jamaica, you know. You understand? Well, you know, if you don't really love Jamaica, you can take a trip go back down there and find some of the land where your grandparents lived down there. And plant some food and help the people them who you claim say, why look why them at the flame self down there? And then I'll do it to yourself up here too. Because you know much time here so Jamaican stab up man in Toronto somewhere and all them something. And I say, but all them youth they know. If they are Jamaica where them are know. Them are dead. So them still lucky because at least them kill people, nobody that kill them, but over Jamaica somebody that kill them. You know see? But the women them seem to be going fine. I see some fine ladies in the audience. Oh yeah, we love you. Tell them the Rasta man know things. Yeah, them God knows that we know what them know, what them don't know what we know. You know? But we need the argument from this side to stop going like say, are the worst thing are going over that side. Because when we hear the Virgin talk, the same thing are going on. And I whole heap of the things them in a Jamaica go on is what them call reprisal killing. In other words, a man involved in a something and a man decides to take it out for him. The problem with that is that because you don't know what the man involved in, you would have stand up beside him at a bar and a man come and say, see the boy there, and you start fire shot and you accidentally get shot. A whole heap of people there in Jamaica, you know, it's not that them involved in something, it's that them know somebody who involved in something. So, Jamaica really need the outside element. And it's like how we criticize the politician now, yeah? The Jamaican people them have power to criticize the government down there too, you know. Yeah, because I remember I said you have family down there, you know, I mean, I only found to lose family members since you know you only back on crime about it. Why? You know, say them food Johnny, I have to go down there to go bury him. And you go bury somebody and come up, and by the time when I come up back, somebody dead again. I didn't know no more plane for you to go back down. It's a whole heap of things Jamaican people can't do for help Jamaica down there. When I talk about a man called like my Western Union one day, I mean, one girl go reach up there so, and the woman said, I'm sorry, but it is not here. You know what is not here? The money. It's not there. The woman just come outside and just take up herself and go, hey, dirty boy! You know, tell you, say the food pick you up the school and woman. And she can't come from here, man, and everybody has look on her, she don't need to she said, hey, how do you? Oh, you tell me to come down and the rest of you and say, send the money, I don't send the money. Me not tell you must send money to Western Union. Me I say that only can, because the government listen to foreigners more than them listen to Jamaican people, you know. So if you know, ball out loud, but all the crime will go on like Jamaica, you know, and start make noise and them will listen, you know. Yeah man, them will listen, man. Because they must say, remittance is the biggest money earner for Jamaica, you know. Behind, in front of tourism. Because you have remittance, then tourism. You can't imagine, I mean, no, you're about to say you pick the people that are going to suffer down there, but them can't go and suffer down there still. Can't just imagine you say you're not and no remittance go to Jamaica. Because you remember, the government that you hold money on time, you know. And I told me that, you know, you're saying you Canadian money and you give Jamaican money. You're saying you US money and you give Jamaican money. So the government that draw the money and I give the least amount of money for your American dollar, your Canadian dollar, and then now give your family the rest. After them take out percentage and all these things. You can't imagine if every Jamaican or every in Canada decides them not send a remittance to Jamaica because the crime rate too mad and for your family could have really seal it down there and they must put something right now about the something. They would have think twice, you know. Yeah man, they would have think twice, man. Because they listen to IMF, you know. And they listen to all sorts of government around them, European government. But people in Canada have power. Jamaican people, Caribbean people, just like in America. We have power. But everybody I look for them Finland, they're not really interested. Everybody I look for them falls, they're not interested. Every man up here look at his girl, they're not interested. Understand? So that's why the thing look that way there. But we can't do something about it. So the problem with it now is that the Canadian, the Jamaican them up here who Canadian think themselves more Canadian than African. Because they are 40 years, they have a Canadian visa, Canadian passport. Them still have the Queen. Canada is Queen. Canada, David, you know. Is the Queen, she around the thing, you know. You know, I know that. She still there for the money, I don't take that. She still there for it. You serious? Is that, well, I'm glad some $10 don't pay me that Canadian money. They still have a Canada. So Canada under the Queen and our successors, like Jamaica. It's just a million of our money, but we have a governor general. That's so independent and we have governor general. Okay, and in the Commonwealth, but we have a visa for England. How kind of man is that? You're in the Commonwealth, but you have to have visa for go to England. You know why that? Because you don't go out to terrible when you don't go to England. Yes, you know, say the area England and South East America, you can't know when you reach a black community. And the dirtiest place. Yeah, man, you reach that sort of. Me I drive going to Brooklyn, you know that stuff. Me know when you have certain part of Queens, you know, when the dirt and even dirt up on the roadside, you know. Up here grass and lawn and all them things and flowers that shoot up on the air. You see, when you come out of that area again, and you go like Franklin and Naston and all the places, you say yes. And yes, so you only got to live it up. Watch the place. Watch how the place stay. And every man stand up on the corner. And man a go on like a Rastafari, yo, you're nice for the road and they have the wickedest car. Same car we have built like a man at the bottom like worlds. And Mercedes-Benz Benz on the top. And it just, why we have answer? Why we do so? You go to a place in a Baltimore. For you reach certain place in a Baltimore, you know see the black community that. If you go to Bronx, and the same thing, all the things stay so. If you cross Flatbush, go over the other side of Flatbush, where the Jew them live. It's a total different place than when you go over the other side. How we see so? We see so because we still lack confidence in ourselves and the identity will make us who we are. Marcus Garvey said, if you have no confidence in yourself, you are twice defeated in the race of life. But with confidence, you have won even before you have started. Marcus Garvey said that. Marcus Garvey is recognized as one of the top philosophers of the 20th and 21st century. And when we are talking about philosophy, you know, they put him up there with, I don't know why, but Marx and all these people who politically inclined. Marcus Garvey, this little short man from St. Anne. But guess what now? If you ask most people say about Marcus Garvey, I don't know nothing about him. No, man, you don't know about him. So, me not interested in them things there. But Kim Kardashian, yes, you asked what Kim Kardashian wear yesterday. And who she did with last night, and who them robbers and all that stuff there. And your ear must look like Rihanna or Beyonce. Beyonce have millions of dollars to do anything what she want to do. If she want to put her bottom in her front and her front and her bottom, she can do that. But anything what she do, trend, according to the new talk, everything is trendy. You know, like tear-up clothes. Oh, don't ask them better for your tear-up clothes. Oh, black people, when we are little youth, and my pants have a little tear in it, and she said, my mother, come here. It's so you're going outside, take out the pants when you patch it. Nowadays, people buy the wickedest jeans. They have $100, $200, and go home and tear it up. How do you get you to do that? How do you take you to walk past white people's store and see a white mannequin with that jeans on with tear up, and you pass the mannequin. And I love that jeans. Honey, how much money I got in your pocket? Say, boy, you want, some man now take the card thing. You know what I pay for that. I don't have cash in this card. I tell give me the card, but I don't know. And then they go buy the tear-up jeans. And if you go home and look at them classic, the amount of tear-up jeans were in there, and they never want to wear it. How them get you to do that? How them get you to walk on the plastic bottle of water? Like we're always thirsty. We have the pan on the side, you know. Plastic bottle of water is trending. And them now them make thermos for put the water in, and we can keep the water cool. So it's the people that jog no morning time. How them get you to do that? Remember when we used to drink water, you know, them they don't used to drink water more. Yes, them they don't used to drink water more. And we used to wait till you go home. I would find a little restaurant to take some water now. I would drink it. Nowadays, nobody ever walk with plastic bottle of water. You know what plastic has done to the environment? Plastic. In a Jamaica, people live on Gully Bank. And when you're looking at the gully, the amount of plastic bottle and sanitary napkin and all the things them when you throw away in the gully. Them black people don't know say that when the rain come and it wash the thing go down at the sea and the fish them see sanitary napkin and eat it. And the fisherman come and catch this fish. And you come the Sunday come buy the fish and come and see him sanitary napkin where you throw away, you go and eat. You know, the thing I go round and I come back round. Because what goes around, come around. So it appears to me that black people don't have this environmental consciousness. So in a Jamaica, now a man really eat a box of chicken and go throw it. When them done, go throw it up on the road. And you say, who do that? What person do that? A man say a stoplight and a man reach a stoplight and the stoplight say, goal. And the man say, watch out, man, I'm a rasta, I'm going to deal with red gold and give you about fruits. You see when them there Canada or America, you see the gold all way up. Beside the line, you see the way up beside the line in there. Right at the line in there so. And you think, man, hold on. Stop. Nah, like that. Because I'm not going to look at the camera. And you just go so boom, you go on now, you have to buy right from you have $100 to buy my woman a new hairstyle. And when you look at the envelope, you see, man, $200 for the stoplight when they broke down there, so you can't afford that. It's a weird thing. Oh, we don't accept ourselves as African. Full stop. Why we have to go around the corner? You go in some bank with certain little sisters, I see some nice little dance up and right. So what, my African princess, look here, Muta. No, no, Rasta, no Rasta. Look here. Africa is not a Rasta thing. It's who you are, and who you is, and who you was, and who you should be. It has nothing to do with religion. It is an identity. You don't have to born in Africa to be an African. Africa born in a you. And it just time them try to beat it out away. And no matter what, you can't beat that out away. Even though some of you are trying to beat it out away. Because even black people are trying to beat out the African out of them picnic. Yeah man, when they're a little picnic, I love my grandmother, you know, but I'm them responsible for all the madness we're going on. Grandparents. Believe you me. Because the same grandparents, when your mama left you with your grandmother and school open, them want to carry you a bar of children. Because them can't afford, them can't comb your ear. Because when them start coming here and it's stuck on a little thing. Because I remember them comb, you know, make the black people hear, you know. Because when your ear goes up, and you go up, and it's stuck, and the people are, Lord, your mouth is too nasty. The picnic, the ear are too, the picnic head. And grandmother lift the picnic and I say, you're too nasty. It's a terrible thing, you know. And then the mama say, the woman say, nobody bring no man in your way ugly like your papa, you know. Black and ugly like your papa. But that woman, a man coming out, will look decent. Or the woman now, she must have good ear. Good ear. You know what good ear is? Good ear is like when you see on television and the woman hear the string down so. So black people have to look like that, you know. So black people go through this torture of going to a thing them called parlor, beauty parlor. And the woman take one hat something. And you know, say, them you look at something, you know, so some woman, me don't really want to touch them here, because me look at me and I see look greasy, like it don't catch a fire in the light. The woman put the hat home and go, yes, black people do that. Because whenever they say, yes, it's more manageable. You hear more manageable. Sometimes never know where am I doing when they make your hair look so. You hear more manageable. And then because you can't manage your hair, guess what, you know, you start to put some horse ear in your head and some bed people in India. We give them ear to this and that. You go buy how much money? You see a woman ear bill the other day, a man to go here. She said, "Man, the bill $82,000. I said, "What you doing there?" $82,000, and the $82,000 is to fix her. It's not even like ear shop fix, you know. It's the ear, part up of the ear shop fix. How them get you to do that? How them get you to do that? And then look around there and say, "Oh, no, like out here, look here. It does look so." And everybody want to look like blacks now. Everybody want to have blacks now. They have mother locks, sister locks, little locks, funky locks. All kinds of locks that go about the place now. People used to run from way. When we walk on road. You know, it's a black heart man. Look on him here. Jesus, you can't come here. It is you can't get. We know some Western man who put out them here to go get visa and not get it, you know. Because people them and them say, "Boy, you can't go." Hey, the thing with them because police is the weirdest thing, you know. That them more, not poor white people, rich white people, you know, so it's not a problem more than so, you know. It's the poor white people that is the problem, you know. Even Marcus Garvey recognize that, you know. So you know what, a man will go down and say, "You can't, you know, get no visa, you know. If you come so your ear looks, you better cut it off." And he's getting conviction, you know. I'm going to cut off and lots now. Go up there from 3 o'clock in the morning. You turn up the embassy. We open 8 o'clock. And he might come from Westmoreland. And put pants up right up. Him man, I don't want to cut off and lots, you know, but the older man must tell him. Give him little thing for rub up. That's when you go in front of the white woman, she will smell it and give you the visa. And read Psalm something like that, and Psalm this and that. And he will get the visa. And they believe it. And when he go up there, he might get out of the thing. So, how long will you be staying? Well, you know, I'm going to a funeral. And the most lie, and a Christian youth, a Rasta youth, he might tell the most lie to get the visa. And then when no man look, he said, "Oh, I'm sorry, but I can't afford to give you the visa at this time. But you can apply on next year time." You know what I'm saying? Everybody believe in them thing there. I'm a cutter. Well, I feel immediate foolishness. Just like Sam's not idiot, you know. You can see that in the Bible. Yeah. They make all come and come feed them up. So I said, "Tell me something, where your power there?" And he said, "In the ear." And my girl had that thing, you know, a bird can fly on one wing. And if the lion loses him, meal and all that. She said, "Oh, I saw it go your ear there." And just cut off that. And then just come blind him and just kill him himself and kill everybody else. But the people them who don't get the visa now, they can't figure it out, you know, it's like Portia. Portia used to run up and down with one pass there and I say, she can't lose the election, you know, and she lose. Yeah, man, they might tell her she can't lose, there's enough papers in there where she walk with him and talk about Jesus Christ and Lord God, this and that, and she lose. I mean, I said, you know, all them things they go so, oh, black people fall for them something they all the while. You don't understand that? A man, drive a car, and the car crash. And if one hand foot broke, here people come, thank God said never broke the other foot. The boy broke one of my foot there, he must go thank him because I never broke my 2 foot. I don't thank God for that, you know. Save me from the accident. How do them something and just keep doing it over and over and the granny come to it, the great grandmother come to it, and now we sit down here so I try to teach people them to come to it, and we know it's not working. If at 400 years we had week and it now work, why we still have done the same thing the same way all the while and I expect to get a different result? It can't work. So back to this African thing now, because people are saying, all right, me are not African. All right, where you live? Them say weird too, you know. Me are Jamaican, and Jamaican starts with G, you know. But they want to show you how much adamantly them against you to tell them to you, them are African. Me are Jamaican, you know, but I come call me African, you know, I come from Africa, you know. I mean, I say, okay, so tell me ask that question. If I come back in a pigtail with me, him still have a move, him now have a him now have do that. So, the cow barn in our pig pen, still a cow. The goat barn in our fowl pen, still a goat. So at what point we cease to become or cease to be Africa? What point? The point where we start to be influenced and start to use European logic to define ourselves. Because that is what we really are doing. Because every time we think in the European logic. So when a man comes to you and says something outside of that logic, you can't deal with it. So we say, you don't have to be born in Africa to be an African. You're an African because you are. It's just simple that. A man after live, I don't go to be African, you know. He's just an African because you're there. You know, Marco, Peter said no matter where you come from, as long as he's a black man, he's an African. Why we always keep denying this part of us that is us? Because you can't hide. You have brown people, you have red people, and you have this thing. You know, Miss Lou have a poem say, color bar. Miss Lou, it's not serious thing, you know. The woman will left Jamaica because she red, she try pass a white. And she realized, say, but when she come to America, them know say, look at that red little more. You is African. Because there's so much things them do to me. That some of us come out certain way. But if you delve deep down in our DNA, African. What is it that we're afraid to say African as it relates to ourselves? Because of the things that them do over the years. Because you notice when we are we talk about the tribe them in Africa. You ever mention tribe in Europe? No, nations. Because nations sound more cohesive, they sound more organized and structured. So the tribes sound more like I don't war against one another. You ever notice them say, when they talk about Africa, they talk about jungle. Because what? Jungle conjure up things of a yam, you know. Lion. Lion don't live in a jungle, you know. Lion don't live in jungle. I have been to Africa many, many times. Lion live on flat land. I run up and down in the grass. Lion don't live in a jungle. And white people make you say that because I'm about that song was written by a South African and it never said nothing about no lion in a jungle. Wimbawe, it never said nothing about no lion in a jungle. The brother them come and in the jungle, the lion jungle, the lions of black people. Come and talk about lion in a jungle and lion, this is the component say lion is the king of the jungle. Lion don't live in bushy place. They live on flat land, savannas. But we have jungle. And you know them have forests. Because forests conjure up Yogi Bear, Bugs Bunny, and all the picnic. And you have picnic, and you see Yogi Bear, just see the people that treat them lunch, and they just swing upon that thing and they'll take on the lunch and go back. And you just conjure up nice things going on in the forest. So we have jungle, wild people, African people, I run up and down half naked. And a guy named Tarzan just come and just talk to them, the animal them, and him control the jungle, and him is the king of the jungle, lord of the jungle. It's a terrible thing. I will grow up with that, you know. We'll grow up with it, and it's going our psyche, and now we make the children, and when they have them Tarzan show again, you know. But we who guide the children then come with that logic. And even though it's like Humpty Dumpty sat on the wall. Nobody teach about Humpty Dumpty sat on the wall. Everybody know it. The little people know Humpty Dumpty sat on the wall, and the little people know about Humpty Dumpty sat on the wall, and the biggest people know about Humpty Dumpty. But nobody go home and say, okay children, I want you to go home and study Jack and Jill went up the hill. Everybody know it. So we don't have to study but we have put on the children them know, you know. All we have to do is keep it in our DNA, keep it in our memory bank. And when the children they're born, them see the same way. So we have this thing about Africa, jungle, as opposed to forest, tribes, as opposed to nation. And then we have white people, half naked. Africa is the only place I go where I say, in a certain villages, I say, I go them call half-naked people, and I go in some other village, and the people have on too much clothes. You ever go to Nigeria? Anybody ever go to Nigeria yet? Or just West Africa and all, and see the amount of the bow them, the three-piece thing where the African them have on. They tell you, if you call a night time and you got to call that, I'll rob you and your family. You know? So we have enough clothes and we have no clothes. We live in a Watland Dab, like old time Jamaica. Them used to have Watland Dab house. And we live in a palace and mansion. That people are saying, wait. Me show some youth some picture of Africa. They say, wait. They never know, so them big building there in Africa and all highway and all. Come say, yes. Can you imagine at this time, yeah? I'm going out certain people, some little daughter, you know. I mean, I got to talk to little daughter, them, and they can't believe what I say because they say, Mota, that's true, you are, it's not true, you are rough, and you can't chat them things there, but you tell them some truthful things. And they don't really want to see that. Because them into them little white world, and don't know there's a white world them are living in. Because all the things that them identify as reality come out of the minds of white people. And when them see something different, them demonize it. So most things were black people, and that's for them own. Black people afraid to hug it up. We hear a man in Jamaica when the earthquake licked Jamaica, licked 18. 300,000 people dead. They say, I told the people they practice voodoo. And I said, what kind of callous mind? I said that. And the Christian fast, you know. What kind of callous mind? And I said that. When most of the people them are 80 don't practice voodoo. Most of the people them are 80 are Roman Catholic. They don't practice voodoo. Voodoo is like how old they are Jamaica and St. Thomas. Most of the people them are St. Thomas. Yeah, man, I hold it for St. Thomas in St. Thomas. St. Thomas is a follow. No, no, no. I throw the car, I never tie no phone. No, but reality is reality. St. Thomas have the most retentive element of our African culture and African experience. St. Thomas. You understand? So, I don't know, most people at St. Thomas don't know about Ovia. But people say, you know, it can be a town and his wife left him in St. Thomas. They go to a church, more Jamaican. They are Christian, you know. And then go to the pastor and say, Pastor, you want to see, you know, the man look like him have a woman outside, you know. I want to know what you can do for me. The father said, just pray. And she said, they have pray from now till morning light. And the man still come home late. She go say, all right, watch me on it. John, I said, Thomas. So there is that innate thing, that memory, that African memory in a way, that sometimes when we feel say it pass away, we live it out unconsciously. It's like you dance. You know, a European dance. Then just speak. Alright, so when we dance, every part of we are move. And you people, oh my God. Jesus. I mean, we can't go overboard with it now, still, you know. I tell you. No, you must be going to dance all now. Just come and some beast people are going to dance all, you know. No, but we move everything. Because it's a dance, collective spirit. You know, see? It's not just dance. When white people are dance, it's just dance. You know, see? When black people did a dance one time, it's a ritual. It's a ritual we have performed. We don't just dance, just like art in Africa. There's no art in Africa ever. Everything is usable. You know, see? We use everything. We don't just kill cow and put it up on the wall. And kill lion and carry one, you over stick it up on the wall and say, oh my God, I don't know when I was in Kenya. This is what I had. They don't say it. No. Just like how the Native American them. Remember those kill animals, so. As a matter of fact, I will live for them. Because it's food, them are from all the buffalo. They would have a prayer going up for the buffalo, to the buffalo. White people have come and see buffalo and murder the whole of the buffalo then. Just like how they go Africa and see the African attack the tree. And they say, mad people in there. There's a thing named animism. You ever hear about it? Where you see life and the goodness of life in everything, even inanimate objects, animism. And you see, some nations in Africa, before they cut down a tree, they have to have a ritual for and to the tree. White people don't understand that. Just like they never understand the Native American, they never understand that when they reach a Turtle Island, certain things. The Native American are give praises to the river. And they say, oh my God, these people are they surely need Jesus Christ. And they were giving praises for the water that feed them. And when the water stops running at the river, them still going to go pray that the water will come back. White people go and see them a pray. And they say, but they're talking to the water. What kind of people is this? And then go, and broke the river to catch a fish. And divert the river down the other part. But we accept these things. It's their reality we are talking about versus our reality, man. Our reality gets stained. It gets stained. Just like our whole leap away, I wait for a man in the sky to come save you. White man, God can't save you from white man oppression. It's just simple that. Because I whole heap of the things we hold fast for over the years. If we had known then what we know now, it should have been a different thing. Total different thing. Because when I tell you about the God of Israel, Abraham and Isaac, and we did know say, okay, in Africa, like in West Africa, you Yoruba tradition. You have some rappers like them talk them things, you know. There's some rappers say, hey, we're not leaving. That's lots here. Yes? We understand that. But we now give up on our African traditions and retentions that Europeans put one side and make you feel say it's a terrible thing. Because if you feel say African pretensions and African traditions are terrible thing, and you take up Jew your Christianity and feel say that is your thing, it's joke you make. Joke. Because we have to reinterpret all of what them tell we. That's why Rasta got through so much problem. Because when we did come out, we attack certain things. People couldn't understand it. Because the ear alone scare everybody. That's why you call it dreadlocks, you know. Because it looked terrible to dreadlocks. Remember, in my young days when we just had locks. We sit down in our bus. That time bus used to travel from half a tree go Spanish Town. Everybody come from Spanish Town now. Man, afraid to put up a man. I'm afraid to put up on 2 year old machine and go on. And one man put up a man, you know. One man put up a man, you're going to afraid, but see somebody over there, they just start putting it up now. Alright, yeah man, Spanish Town, Santiago de la Vega. Alright. Remember, I used to take bus. I used to live at Twickenham Park. I take bus go home. I sit down at the bus with my little Rasta self. And a woman and a picnic come at the bus and sit on beside me. And I don't know why people don't push out them hand and I try to touch the ear in the bus. Them all the woman turned to the little picnic and said, take it here from the Rasta man chop it up. He said, I'm sitting there, you know, and I hear this thing, you know. And I said, yeah, this thing is kind of serious. Because when I walked down Harbour Street one day, you know, my cousin was see me for much years. She got new America. I said, drugs and all them something. And she come back. I Jamaica and she walked down the road. And she see me. One time my family called me Rye. That's right. My father said, it's a Rye. They see me, I come down the road that time. No shows, me locks are fly over the place, and me calabash and me and me shark, and then I come down the road. And she said, all right, huh? And I said, yes, Jesus Christ, you are the Lord God. Yeah, tell her, Rasta, you want to? I tell her, take it out. And look over there now. I am the man you love to eat. I used to sit down in the slums of Ghost Town and Trench Town, Bacawal. No clothes to hide my nakedness. Filth and mosquitoes, smelling, biting 400 years of black flesh, scarred by whips and sticks. I am the man. Locks entangled in your nightmares of Medusas and Gorgons. Unkept religious belief that pierced the side of your Jesus in the sky. Your vinegar has turned to blood, your water to mud. Crucifix, choking on your life of your colonialistic attitude. Yes, I am the man that came in clouds of ganja smoke, choking you to death, yet not killing you. My eyes, seeing a black God, casting doubts in your mind about your unexposed spiritual being. Black shadows, casting clear pictures of an existence drowned by false concepts of reality. Black was beauty until I walked with my bare feet, touching your tarry pavement of sadistic heat. You would have accepted I, if only I came via Time magazines and Vogue. If only you were exposed to life beyond your middle class gate. Yes, I am the man you love to hate. Look, I am now your next door neighbor. So, and I'm going to tell you, I'm clap me down, you know. All right, so now, I tell you about my friend, I'm going to New York. Some of them up there, but most of them are New York. Because I them days are New York, I just had a Canada coming as mix, you know. Yeah, man, Canada comes out of mix because America kind of steep with the visa thing, them steeps. America don't like Canadian, you know. And Canada don't like America. The Canadian white people then seem to more relaxed, more cool than the American white people then. Yeah, them kind of more cool. I don't know what the black people then do. If they're more relaxed. Because somehow now up here without the right papers. And you're nervous, you look at the America, trust me, Trump right over to do them. You see all the people in America, I go like them easy like Sunday morning. Wait, them so say, them think someone makes the call him after. What I say. Alright, so the first time in New York, make me upset. Because I hear about this New York, it's so big, I've called 2 times, New York. And I say, okay, I'm going to come out of the airport. I'm going to come out of the airport. I'm going to come out of the airport. I'm going to go so I can't see the sky. I say, what's the sky there? Cloud, you know, see the sky, and when I taxi you drive, going to the area where you go. Like, whether you're going to Queens or Bronx or Manhattan. Not Manhattan. I come take out Manhattan out there. Because black people don't live in Manhattan. And they see them on the other side. The privilege. So, you know, you drive going out in a Bronx or Brooklyn, and you see these red brick walls, the house them make out there. And I say, okay, how them so dirty? And somebody says, well, you know, them really long and smoke and the time, and I say, okay. And you reach now, you know, black people, especially Caribbean people, why we must leave Jamaica with so much luggage and come back with more luggage than luggage? I don't like old people will take plane and may either walk in front of them or beside them. Because them have luggage where you can check on and them are carry on the plane. And want me, my son, help me with that luggage, I know. Me make sure that me don't check on nothing out of me, no want heavy luggage. And them have the big luggage. Before you take it out, I say, I couldn't check on the way, I check on 3 already, and they charge $100 for one because it's overweight. Why we do that? Why we do that? But we check these little things, you know, because them things that show us something in a way where it's not logical. That we could have known, say, and you ever know, say, you look it over with and black people don't put out them luggage and take out the drawers, take out the this, take out the this, and I try to get another bag. And you have some man out at the airport, they just say they are same bag. And drop on the old ship, you call it. So, these the whole man go on the bus, go on the plane with the bag. Excuse me, my son. And your name Mutabaruka. I mean, listen to you all the while, you know, if you carry luggage. I'm going to carry on the luggage, on the plane for you. I'm going to carry it, you know. And the weirdest thing, you know, for them seat always almost there at the front. And them can't put up the luggage up there. And them block up the whole of the way for everybody else coming. And it says, will you please move out of the way, please? We would like to have an on-time departure. She did that, I said, you go ahead and put up the luggage and charge her. I was the son there. She had to put up the luggage and put up the luggage up there. She gone, sit down, and me then we at the back. I sit down, you know, with my little, like white people, you know. Because I learned from them, you know. Don't carry on too much luggage. I don't want when the plane lose it, carry up and I say, Lord God, I mean, have the team for go away, you know. And I have something there, and gone to the next country. Anyway. So them people put the luggage up there now, and then sit down. Me want a window seat all the while when we go on the plane. Because you see the aisle seat, and it's a 8-hour flight. And this woman who have all sign of pelvic problem, and she have diabetes, and she want to wee every hour. I mean, they're tired of rats and I want to sleep. And she said, excuse me, my son. And me have to stand up there and wait till she come back, you know, come in, I want to sit down back and I have to get up back again. And then we go drop and sleep and say, excuse me, my son. How do you think that happen? And when they come off of the plane is the problem again, you know. Because me they wait on the back, and she they wait on the front of that. She said, where my son there? My son! Like me, I didn't know what I was for that time, you know. I tell me we up the top. Now the help her with her love it come out. It's not done, you know. You see the carousel thing we have also. Black people, Caribbean people, is the only set of people when African too, we come from continental Africa. It's the only set of people when see a luggage come on and everything drop out tight. And the rum bus and the wedding suit come out and them have breadfruit with hockey and they hide they are around on the clothes and them have to take up one thing and the thing are gone, them have to get the thing come back round and because I mean them have to come things that go round and them have to come from people like that. It's not done, you know. Because I see the luggage where them have now. It can't have a whole pan, push can't, you know. They have to get all two of them in and they have to push it so, push one so, then push the other so, push one so, then it's when they reach up there and they open out the bag. You ever notice that when the custom man open your bag, it can't lock back? It's like, how many things them holding at the bag? And when they open it, and they might try to push back out. And my his white dog panic like say, you might expect some nasty thing in there. And my push down the bag and then I sit there and close it. Because them all down the zip and it bust, you know. Yeah. So when them open the bag, not about the old people them still, you know. Because young people now, them none of them think there. He might looking at the bag, he might say, he might know it's breadfruit, but it's wrapped on this 5 paper like weapon of math structure. It's like, you know, the breadfruit. And you know, Granny used to cut the breadfruit top and put the hockey in there and then push it back in there and fold it back with the file as it not drop out. But unfortunately, the rumbling and the jumbling, the grease run out by some of the clothes that she know how to wear right away. When the man going at the bar and he said, what is this? She said, it's breadfruit, sir. He said, bread what? Breadfruit, I don't know breadfruit. All right. Then put that one side because I still don't know what she had about it. So when I dig deep and then say the thing when he have time, he said, yes. And I'm thinking about it. Yeah man, I eat this. And what is this? It's time, sir. Time? Yes, sir, time. Time for what? He said, time, I know time, sir. But you know, them all know a Jamaican to deal with Jamaican now. And a Trinidadian to deal with, you know them way there? So, You say a Jamaican a come. It's what that? Them say, oh, time. T-H-Y-M-E, hear him now. Oh, you mean time? She said, that. Maybe I try to tell you that. And I just don't care about the bag, you know. So she about to when thing half lock again and more things that drop out of the bag when she don't want nobody to see. Tiling paper. I said, what? Granny, where you carry tiling paper from me? Then where you want me though? You think I'm going to use newspaper? Then tile away there. So you're reaching out Brooklyn where you go. Why is it that my brethren there always live on the 10th floor and the elevator not working and the luggage heavy and it's one of them steps we are going to because we don't use them steps, they want to take us straight. Boom, boom, boom. Them steps they have to and I go, and the big bag, boom, and bounce man that, and you have to carry them one, go. And when you reach up there now, it's a weird thing, you know, because when we are Jamaica, we can't see people when they come at the gate. When they come at the gate, you can't see people. And if somebody there at the door, you can't see them through the glass. You see, in America, we don't know about over here, but America. You see, when you reach at the door where you're supposed to go. How about that? I mean, man. Me, oh. Nobody not near me. And they go to the door. No. Watch out. Believe you me. It's about black people. Especially Caribbean black people. Listen to these things, eh? Oh, that. I mean, man. Me, oh. I mean, you don't know me, but I don't open the door. And it's like, they didn't hear me now. So here we know, them have this little peephole in the door. So you know who inside now you have got there. You still can't tell who's up because your face. When you look at them, your face are telling something, you know. So you have to start out the process again. It's like a whole ritual, you know. It's a ritual you have to go through for going to the house and New York, you know. Believe me, okay. With your brethren, you know. And when you do say, I'm being told him, when I open the door, man, say, oh, I told him, let me get him out of that front of the house. It's when they open the door now. Oh gosh, man, lock like worries. Can't jump them and tell you, know. And when they open the door, you know, everybody are going to go back to Jamaica. And Jamaican people, why black people again love carry the biggest barrel go down so and appear 99 cent store things in there. Look here, we move up now, you know, Jamaican people, we don't want a 99 cent thing to come at Jamaica. We want Gucci. And all these things that you buy from Fifth Avenue. Now, I'm not about the wholesale things. I'm talking about the one-away things. Because we know good things now. We have television. And when we look at television, we see everything. We see where Kim Kardashian have on. We say this one have on and that one have on. So you can't trick me again. But you have full of barrel to come at Jamaica. Because furthermore, all 2 years you don't have the barrel and it can't full. Because you can't come back to Jamaica because you don't visa no right and you don't paper no right. And you keep, and then you go there and say, so when you come to Jamaica, I want a Songfest. Oh, now come to Songfest. When Christmas comes, them sit up there. And you go back up there and say, oh, you want to get to come from Brazil. Okay, I come for Christmas. And the barrel still are full. And you can't see the barrel are full because you buy the biggest barrel. They have little barrel, big barrel. Try to do the little barrel, you can send it quicker. We're not really interested in a foreign thing because there's nothing in Canada that we can't get at Jamaica. Nothing. We have the wickedest car them in Jamaica in 2018. There are people that drive 2018 car in Jamaica. We don't hold pound in a car to drive a 2020. Say 5 car, 2005 car, we don't have. And then I come back like say we don't have nothing there. We have all the different kind of falls here. It is down there, so you have to send no more falls here. And I tell little cheap falls here. The ladies in Jamaica know how Kim Kardashian dress. And even though them got the money, the King Kardashian have, them want the look. And them know the King Kardashian are cheating. So, one of those send on a little horse with them down there. Say the real Indian we go come from India. But the woman them shave off them head and sell it back to the company them and them make weave with it. Not to mention the breast them. Everybody want big breasts and all. We know about these things. But you see, all of these things that we speak of, it's really a problem. Because all of them things there don't allow African people to know themselves as African people. You know see? So even though it sounds funny, but we laugh because it's true. How we get to this stage that we can't recognize Africa and know that Africa is the oldest civilization on earth. The oldest fossil of any human being was found in Ethiopia. They call her Lucy. The Ethiopian them said Denkanesh. The oldest fossil of human being. There's no religion that starts in the West. None. No religion. All of them religion we see in here is offshoot of religion that come from the East. And not necessarily Africa, where you have religion we call India. There have almost 1 million religions in India. You have Chinese. You have all sorts of religion. So there's no religion. Even the same Judeo-Christianity that most of us don't really give credence to. I teach them things from our Kemet. Rob them. Burn down the library them in Alexandria. A guy named Alexander the Greek. Alexander the Greek go to Iran, him see Iran for much years, him go to Egypt. But look at me about Pythagoras. Pythagoras theorem. A squared plus B squared equals C squared. At Egypt, him go learn that. There was no Greece, Italy, France, Germany, when the pyramids them did that build. And people are running up and down wild in Europe, don't know where they're coming and going. Some black people in North Africa go in a place named Granada in Spain and rule there for 700 years. 700 years. Me never know that till me left school. Me never know say black people were never in a slavery. Because most of the time we hear about black people as slavery, that thing fun. Our history is not slavery. That is where our history got broken. Our history thousands of years before the Arabs and the white people then got inside of Africa. When the Arabs then enslaved black people, longer than all white people enslaved black people. And now you have African people, I change their name from African to Arab name. Me there Senegal and me driving a taxi and me ask the man where he live in me. I said, well, can't buy a car. I said, tell me your African name, we have to like you have Poland, some cars and disease that you have. When we're there, so, you have Jamaican. When them come up all of them places, them say, well, you know, my father, or for that matter, all the parents came from Scotland. All right? So where your father or mother come from? St. Thomas. You don't know? I am half African. Half African? What half are you the African for? When somebody says them is half something, what part of them, the half, is the something? It's a crazy thinking that African people can look on themselves and because them have a European name. Them start to be credence to the European name than them Africanness. And say, what you want to say? We don't know my African name, but you don't know say European thief it and rob it and beat it out away. And when you hear name like Lumumba, you say, what kind of name that Lumumba? No, because you want to hear Tony and McGregor. How do we share so? A man named Barry. How the man named Mr. White and him black? I mean, they don't comprehend me. Oh, my name is Mr. Brown. And they love the Mr. thing too. Mr. Brown. The other thing in Jamaica now, all the prime minister them is most honorable. The word of my teeth them is most honorable. Which honorable? They're not honorable. How the hell we as African people have a system for how much years now? We have 2,000 years. But tell we say a man with them on the earth will feed 5,000 people with 12 fish and 4 barley loaves. Oh, I gather we are wrong. And black people sit down there and believe that. Believe what I say now. Me want Jesus come now. To go in Haiti. To go in a certain part of Africa. To feed the people then with fish and bread. And make it multiply like all them are doing. Because me not say in the logic, even in the spirituality, the divinity of our humanness. Because that's the only place you can find divinity, in humanness. And because man losing humanness, why you can't find divinity? You might look for the divinity out the soul. No divinity, no out the soul. I am. I just saw. It's just simple. So when a man know I say, Jesus, and a man said, there's no other name that man can be saved, but is the name of Jesus. And you have to be washed in the blood. Wow. Think about it. A man tell you, say, you have to be washed in the blood of the Lamb. You know where you get that from? It's ancient people long before Christianity did exist. As a matter of fact, most indigenous people will kill a lamb as a sacrifice to them gods. And that's how the Jew them get it from. But can you imagine some guy named Abraham having one son? And I don't know if it's some bad ganja into that smoke or something. But a voice tell him, say, take him one son and carry it up upon an altar and stab the son. Become proof, say, him love him. The most benevolent, omniscient, beautiful, all-powerful, loving, kind, generous God want his vessel uncreate to prove to him that you love him. God have begged human beings to love him, and him is who created the people then. Who is saying these things? This is what you call an anthropomorphic idea of God. What is anthropomorphic? Anthropomorphic is when you make God of human experiences and human ways. So when the Bible says, I am a jealous God, of God, them say that, you know. God saying jealous, and when you go deal with that woman and she jealous, you cuss her. Where you cuss her for? Or where you cuss him for? Because God jealous. God jealous to the point where he will wipe out a whole city. We talk about a loving, generous, kind God, you know. We wipe out a whole city. Because he said, no, you're not following. He said, thou shalt have no other God but me. What am I saying? He must say, there are other gods. But you must love them God, that God, like a warrior. Because if there was no other God, you just love him, man, but I work with it. But he said, thou shalt have no other God but me. So obviously, because they might tell the Israelites, them say, love him and no, don't love the God, them with the nation them love. Because anyhow, you love that God. He will make the other nation them wipe you out. Just like how he make the Israelites them wipe out other nations. What kind of thinking is that? How them get you to think that? And then turn around and say God is a loving and kind God. Generous God. Decent. How can you love God who you cannot see? Yes, you cannot love who you can see. You have to love who you can see first. Because who you can see is a manifestation of who you cannot see. It's just simple that. So there are some DJ, you know, oh, I don't trust man, you know. Very homophobic. I don't trust man, you know, they're way there. You can't look at everybody and say you love him. Oh, love, I'm mad, them are mad. It's mad, they're madding, if they touch a word as madding. You can't love a man. Why? What is love? Is not sex. That is how them look on it. For you say love a woman or sex business. Won't I really love me? Right away she think married so I think something else. I say, you know, really I truly love you, you know. But I really like how you look for me together with you because I'm going to fret. You understand? But I still love you because I find that divinity in my humanness to love. And black people lose that. Yes. We lose that. And that's the first order of the day now. Love yourself. Because that is the greatest love. And Mark Garvey says, you have no confidence in yourself. You're defeated in the race of life, but with confidence you have won even before you have started. And we lose that because we get caught up in a sky god. I am my ancestor. When you say I is my ancestor, you have the point. If it wasn't I, there would be no ancestor. And if there was no ancestor, there would be no I. It's just like God. It's a reciprocation of thought and things. Man make God and God reciprocate and make man. Because there's no concept of God that is outside of man. Every concept of God comes from man. Every religion comes from man. And all the ideas of God come from man. There's no divine entity that is telling man must write this in book and write that in book. If that was so, Luciano is a great philosopher. Bob Marley is a great philosopher. And really and truly, Christian never sing Bob Marley song in a church. Because they might say, oh, them Rasta people that. Yet still, universal love is an understanding that transcends human beings' understanding of who them is as it relates to others. So when a man said, what? When Christian tell you, say, oh, when you're dead, all right, so when you're dead, what? Well, you know, you say, brethren, you dead, you ever know about it when dead and come back and tell you about it? So how you ever tell me when we dead what happened to me? And so, well, you know, first you have to accept the Lord Jesus Christ as your personal Savior. And I said, okay. And so then you have to baptize. And then you start telling about all the things that will befall you in the bottomless pit. If it have a bottom, it don't have a bottom, it's not a pit, it's a hole. It's just simple. And there's no flesh can't burn for 1,000 years. That is madness. Because the sun, the 90 million miles on the earth, and wow, feel it. It's the hottest September I've ever feel in Canada. And that's the nearest star to the earth. So can you imagine if all matter what star will fall from the sky on the earth? It's madness. Star will fall from the sky on the earth. Every star out there bigger than the earth. Every star out there is a lot of understanding of the cosmos. Why people said those things 4,000 years ago. They never understand these things. That's why man said, well, the four corners of the earth. The earth has 4 corners. That is when man thinks that the earth is flat and it has 4 square. Like a man said, the sun rise in the east and set in the west. It's foolishness. There's a man named Galileo. Galileo goes and said, it's the earth that revolves around the sun. And the Pope called him and said, man, your man, in the Bible, it said Joshua commanded the sun to stand still. So it is saying to you that the earth, the sun is moving. And Joshua said, something I don't know where to do. He must go to St. Thomas and make the still. Stand still. And then I said, but Galileo said, look here, Pope, whether you want to accept it or not, it is the earth that revolves around the sun and not the other way. You know what they do with him? They put him on a little island and exile him till he's dead. Because there's a part of the Bible that says Joshua commanded the sun to stand still. Black people believe that. And without teeth, him regurgitate it continuously through the ages and tell him picnic, and the picnic come tell the picnic. And when the picnic go up, he can say, easy, hold on. This is the science and technology now. We don't need them fools. Remember? Oh my God, what did I not do? Why did people come to that? It's so to worship the devil. And you did not worship the devil if there's such a thing. Because I don't tell me say God made the devil. Why then God make them put throw down on me to make me go out with things going no light? Madness. It's madness. We're in a cycle. I mean, it is madness. Oh, we reach the son. Abraham was killing son. You can't imagine me take all, when I want to take